battery doesn't die. Hey, shalom, it's Sister Kate, and go ahead, Pastor Joe. We are traveling, as is often happens to us, and we've got a while, and right now we have pretty good service too. So I thought I would do a live stream now. I have talked to a few people. I would do it that way. You want to be in the picture a lot or not?
I don't care, whatever you want.
It's probably a better picture that way. Talk to people about the live streams, and many of you all, hey, shalom, Teresa, and this old homestead. Hey, Sister Kim, saw your video.
Like the shooting video.
Isn't it weird how some of us just equate Sukkot with shooting? I don't know how that came about. I'm trying to think of other things we can do. We always talk about the Shofar Mountain Games, rock throwing and water fetching, and then we never do them.
That's because nobody wants to.
Well, we don't plan them. You got to plan them too. We always get too busy and we don't plan them, but I really think it'd be a hoot. Good morning. Good morning. Sukkot equals shooting. Prepper in the woods? Is that your name? Hang on. Here we go. Prepping in progress. Prepper in progress.
Prepper or prepping?
Prepper. So Dina B, it says. Lina Washington. Good afternoon, Sister Kate. Shalom, shalom. Feats of human strength, this old homestead said. That's right. Right here, farm fit, baby. Should have an arm wrestling contest too. What?
You want to have one?
No, not right now. You would whoop me. Get out of here. Okay. Yeah, people talk about the live stream and they'd say, Sister Kate, I never get to see your live stream because I'm busy, I'm outside or whatever, and it's true. I don't schedule them. I'm kind of a, wing it person. I'm not really into convention.
And you don't like being scheduled.
I don't like being scheduled, not only because I just think it's fake, but it's not. Don't get me wrong. I think it's very mature to schedule and to get yourself in a regular, time, 7 o'clock on a Tuesday or 5 o'clock on a Wednesday or whatever people do. But the other thing is we're retired. And so we did schedules. We did all kinds of schedules for many, many, many years. And I'm flexing my freedom and not scheduling myself.
Freedom.
I do try to get an email, or not an email, but a post on the community section of my page at least 5 minutes in advance. That's not a lot of warning. I get that. In case you use that social media platform also to give you a couple of notices. And sometimes I am able to email Weetree Bonsai, who then comes in as a moderator, but this time I forgot to do that, so if she's here, then it's cool. And there's Wes, he's a moderator, so hopefully you guys can keep the trolls down. Oh, there's Sister Michelle. Bless you. I hope you're feeling good. I hope life's getting back to normal. And there's John Ray.
Hey, John.
Afternoon. We still need to figure out how to get our press.
Yeah, it's in the works.
It's in the works. Not to worry. Okay. Let's see. Who else is on? David Campbell. Good morning, Sister Kate and Pastor Joe. So, here's a very, very good opportunity. Very, very good opportunity for you all to ask us questions because we're together and we can't really go anywhere. We can't duck out. So if you have a question...
I can duck out. You want to see?
Yeah, right. If you have any questions to ask us, now would be a really good time. If you watched my latest video, I talk about the seasons have changed or are changing right now. The trees are dropping their leaves. The temperature is changing. That means, at least for us, we get out of our summer mode, which includes heat and bugs and dirt and filth and all sorts of things, and we can get into our fall mode, which is different clothes, different habits. Our schedule changes. One good thing about the summertime is how many hours of daylight we have. It allows us to have a long work day if we want to. That we can be out in the garden at 8 o'clock and it's still sunlight out.
We get a lot of sleep in the winter.
Right, but in the winter when it's colder and darker, we spend more time indoors, and then we get to do indoor things like painting. I know I've said in the past I'm going to paint more little pictures and do more magnets and so on. I'm not really inspired to do that sort of thing in the summer. Too hot. The middle of the day we take for our siesta in the garden, and the animals take up so much of my time. So I'm looking forward to more indoor time this winter and a chance to get back into that groove and to work on more of those kind of projects. We also will be firing up our stove. We haven't done our big cook stove all summer. It's too hot. I use it for storage. But once we have cleaned out the chimney, made sure there's no creosote, not trying to start a fire, then I can get into that gearing. And that is, different food, cooking a lot of food at once, baking things versus possibly sauteing things. Dehydrating stuff in that oven is pretty easy. And one of my goals for this summer was to dehydrate more things, and I got caught up in all the stuff that happens in the summertime and the heat, and I didn't get nearly as much dehydrated as I wanted. Okay, so let's see what your comments are. Good morning, says Mike. And Weetree Bonsai has passed away?
What?
Really? Oh my goodness. Teresa Dukowitz joined it.
She's not a nobody.
Yeah, she's not a Teresa straight shooter. What happened? Was she suffering from something?
That's a shame.
Vicky said, please don't duck out of the picture. Okay, Sister Vicky, let's stay in here. Is J.A. Dudley in a timeout? He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. If you see that he has one on him, please do something about it, Wes. I hope I did not do that. Look for her on YouTube and see Melissa's post. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I'm so sorry for... Oh, I really liked Weetree. Man, that's sad. She was a little dynamo in here. His stuff keeps needing approval. It happened last night on Biddy Boo's live stream too, Wes. I don't know what's going on there. I kept having to approve his comments there because I'm a moderator there. Is he in here? J.A., are you on the live stream? And Shalom Philia. Shalom family. Y'all had some really pretty pictures on Instagram from your sukkah. That was really nice, the way you decorated things. Okay, so don't forget questions. If you have questions, now's the time to ask them. He must have gotten a strike on YouTube or something. Entirely possible, Wes. I don't really know. I did talk to him. Didn't see any reason for anything like that. He seemed like a very friendly fellow. So who knows? YouTube's so fickle. Shalom, PJ, and it's okay. Hope you are well. From Nick.
From where?
Nick O'Lark. Nick O'Lark. I could take the camera up here closer and be able to read it better. Let's see, William someone. Oh, Amalia. Salt and Light Gypsy. Shalom. Blessings to you. How was your Sukkot? Teresa, that's all right. I will go to her channel like you said. I will do that later and find out. Okay. So I noticed when I went to Biddy Boo's channel last night, her subscribers are also called Crew. I was just finishing A Tale of Two Knives. Nice. What'd you think about it, Bobby? I thought it was kind of interesting, and I knew both of those stories. How did your fruit trees survive the summer, John Ray? Good question. John, 2 of my apple trees, which did bear fruit, the leaves all turned brown, and the one died earlier in the summer, and the other one died near the end of the summer. So I can't tell if the tree itself survived or not. I'm continuing to put some fertilized duck water on them, and I'm wondering if next year maybe I'll get trees coming up out of the root, because sometimes that happens. My Arkansas black trees seem to have survived, but they didn't bear any fruit. And I have one tree next to the duck house that I don't think is old enough to bear fruit, so it might have fruit next year. And the one Fuji apple that did bear fruit had a damaged trunk in the past, and it had fruit last year as well, but the whole tree is kind of
iffy.
Yeah, it's kind of wobbly, so I redid the repair. I actually saw the repair. I think I unwrapped it in the springtime, and a good part of it had worked, but another side of it wasn't quite, it didn't work, so I repacked the peat moss in there and I wrapped it up again, and I'm hoping this coming spring when I unwrap it that repair will be better. Okay. Those are awesome nuts. Are the persimmons worth the work, this old homestead?
They're delicious if you keep the deer off them.
Right, good question. Really good question. They are absolutely amazing flavor-wise after the first frost.
Good biscotti.
It makes it, I made biscotti last winter because Sojourn Gear had a way to get some persimmons, a bunch, and he gave them to me, and I processed them. It is absolutely delicious. It really is. I love the flavor. The biscotti was great. You can make cookies, you can make bread. It's very similar to, I want to say pumpkin and zucchini bread. It's that kind of cinnamony, kind of rich flavor, but you have to do it after a frost. If you try to eat it before, it's like eating a very green apple. It's just like astringent, like sucks your lips. It's so astringent. Wine from them. I have not made wine, but I think we did know a brother who did, and it was good.
Make wine
yeah,
from it?
I think
That's
he did
pretty
it.
good.
I think he made it without even adding sugar. He just put the fruit in water and let it ferment. It was good. Anybody else? Anybody else have a question? Why you got me? I was talking about Biddy Boo. Ollie's Humble Home and the Oily Prepper. Hello, welcome. If you have any questions,
You've said that enough.
I know, okay. What are you guys' fall plans? What are the kind of things that you find yourself needing to do, having to do, wanting to do in the fall? I know one of the things I'm looking forward to, and I haven't been able to do it yet, is having a pumpkin spice latte, because I do like that flavor, and I would like to make my own. Did you store seeds? Good question, David. I have stored some of my seeds. I have not stored them all, and I should
have some watermelon seeds in my pocket as we drive.
Right?
Oh, there's our turn.
There's our turn. We'll miss it, Pastor. I did corn, which it wasn't a great corn harvest, but there was more seed there than what I started with, so I saved them very well. I should have saved some of my tomato seeds from my early ripening tomatoes, but I don't think I did. And I'd still have tomatoes on my plate, so what I should do, and hopefully will do soon, is get a couple of those. And for the corn, it was very dry. I sort of washed it, I think, with maybe Dawn and water, but then I sprayed it with some bleach and with hydrogen peroxide, because mold that's on the seed can, kill the seed while you've got it stored somewhere. So people have told me you want to do that thing, so I did it. So far, they aren't sprouting and they're not molding. All right, email. Okay, Teresa, thank you. Let me see. I'm the worst seed saver in the world. I always forget about it. I've saved seeds from things I really wanted to have. I've saved seeds from mustard plants because I really wanted to have more of them. I've saved seeds from peppers, I think. We've saved pepper seeds before.
Good watermelon.
Good watermelon. I haven't saved any cucumber seeds.
Although the seeds are getting ready to come out now, right? The catalogs. Like,
Pretty
can't we
soon.
get this year's seeds? Because I want to get a bunch of heirloom seeds this year.
I think they come out in the spring, really, but I could be wrong there. Okay. At Sasquatches with weak signal, just hey.
Who's
Okay,
that?
you know, brother C103.
Oh, Mark.
Say hello to the Squatch for us, too. You have a Catholic. Okay. David Campbell, you have a coffee can full of seeds. She and her husband were both found in their home deceased, she and Wheatree. At first, the police, wow, someone's got that in all caps too. Somebody prepper. At first, the police thought she fell and her husband fell trying to help her. Oh, that would be very sad if that were true. Man. Wow, thank you for letting us in on that. I appreciate that. Wow. It's just really sad. Sorry I can't stay doing things and my signal is weak. That's David Campbell. Might try heirloom bloody butcher corn. That's done well for us in dry times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah, I agree, Wes. But now they believe he had a heart attack and she also had one helping him. Well, that's a little better than them just falling and laying there and suffering. Hopefully that was quick, at least. I'm really bummed out about Wheatree. She was a long sub of mine. Nice lady. She was, and she tried to get me involved with other Dora ladies who have channels. Trying to Doug and Stacy. She tried to see if we could do a joint thing, and somebody else contacted me about a podcast, but they never contacted me again. Someone else, she had been really sick. And there's Brother Aid. Shalom, and Shalom Deborah. And Shalom Aledwin.
It's a weird building out there, see it?
Yes. Kind of weird and rounded.
It's kind of like a pyramid.
Dudley, are you overseas? I still don't see any of his comments. Okay. What were we talking about right before that?
I wasn't talking about
seed
anything.
saving. Seed saving. Yes, we have saved seeds, and we do try to buy seeds at the end of the season when they go on sale, and before places like Lowe's tuck them all away till the next summer or something. This old home says I see Deadly. Had to approve him and AIDS. Well, it could be that I just accidentally touched something when I was trying to scroll up, which would be, I forget how I would undo that. I can see Jay. Click on live chat instead of top chat. I thought I had. It's not anything. Hello, Lamp Keeper. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and then if you guys, Wes, if you'll just keep approving his comments. Because I don't know where to click on the live chat, and I'm really afraid to...
You're going to cut everybody
Oh,
off.
there it is. Okay, there we go. No, I got it. Okay. All right. That was a good suggestion. Huh. Can y'all still see me and hear me? There we go. Yay! All right, so we save seats. Does anyone else have anything they want to talk about? This will be something with this thing. Yes, ma'am. All right, so I do have... Are we going down 59? There we are. There we are. There's Westful Hold Forge. Yay! There he is. Hey, J.A. There's Miss Vicky. I look marvelous, she said. Thank you. Curious about your duck and egg production. Okay, well, right now none of the ducks I have are laying any eggs. And I don't have lights and lamps and things to keep coops warm, and so I'm not sure if any of them should be laying right now.
I don't think it's warmth. I think it's light.
Could be the daylight, but I know that the
Like, what is up with people today? They can't pick a lane.
pick a lane, buddy. The new ones that I got, so I've gotten around 19 new birds, are all not old enough to be laying. And I think the Cayuga variety is not known for egg laying. They're really pretty, but pecans are the ones that lay the most eggs. And also, I wonder about their diet, if they're getting enough protein, at least for the pecans, because they were laying earlier in the year. But another factor is going to come in soon. If I have too many male ducks to the females, then they can overuse the females and they won't lay. I also have to figure out if there's going to be any mated pairs, because some duck varieties, the male and female breed for life. So I've got to do a little bit more research on the ones I have. But we are trying, we're consolidating and trying to get, some production there so that we can sell the eggs and the babies. But fall and winter is not a really good time for there to be a lot of productivity. They like eggs. Duck eggs are really good for making. Action jackson. They certainly are. They are more protein and more fat in duck eggs than chicken eggs, and they make good rise better. I also just saw a post on sustainable meat.
Mike?
Yeah, Mike the Australian.
Mike the Aussie.
And he put duck egg shells, I think, in with his potatoes, and he got a really good crop. So they're obviously also good fertilizer. All right, PJ, are you more of a Hamish or? Whoa, wait a minute, that comment just went. Are you more of a Hamish or Wallace type rock thrower? Brushing up on my skills, need to know.
Upsec, bro.
I'm trying to see who asked that question. Oh, that was Sister Michelle.
Upsec, sis.
And there's Susan Bryant. Hang on. How is the snake proofing holding up on your chicken coop? I'm still trying to figure out a better way. I haven't snake proofed my chicken coop yet. I think hardware cloth is going to be the key there to make sure that the snakes can't get through wire, because chicken wire is definitely not narrow enough. There is Crazy Canuck. Shalom, you awesome. Thank you. Shalom. Hardware cloth is so painful. It is painful and it's hard to work with.
We have a big one of that stuff.
Well, it's a little bit less out of it. But yes, you need heavy duty boats and you need heavy duty wire clippers to work with it. Just joining in was adding you. Now you're a crew. You guys are a crew. Consider yourself a crew. I have already designed a t-shirt, and I've already ordered a copy of it, so when I get that in hand, and then if you guys are okay with it, I will start the campaign and we will do sales of t-shirts so that you all can be joined into one, Kate's Crew community by having an identifying shirt. So that's coming up, and I'm really excited about it because I like the design. I'm in my campaign, I've got more than one style of t-shirt because I know that the seams are changing, so there's a long sleeve version and a short sleeve version and a slim fit for the ladies, because I know there's a lot of women who just aren't excited about a man's crew neck t-shirt. So that's pretty cool. First try, I think it'd be really neat, and if it all works out wonderfully, I would love to see it. And Philly Ministries, the king is coming. Don't forget the fat boy size. Well, I'm almost certain that
It's up to whatever they have.
Yeah, it's whatever they
Sorry.
offer. You go to the
I think it goes to 3XL.
I think it goes to 3XL. You go to the website and you pick. I choose a couple of styles, and then you guys get to pick. I think I have 4 or 5 different colors in each size too, or style.
You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see when you go to the link. You'll see the things I've chosen. All right, and then reap what you sow's on there. Hello, y'all. How are you guys doing? I know you did a video on after the storm. I'm assuming that you're getting back to normal there. Smash that thumb, y'all.
Well, that's strong coffee.
I want to have this old homestead shirts made, but I don't know where to go.
Bonfire. They've been good to me.
They've been very good to Pastor Joe. They have a pretty easy to use website. They have a decent selection of graphics and things.
And you can get a hold of a human there to help you if you need that.
Right. They have a pretty good customer service. They have their own messaging system and things like that, so they're pretty helpful. And they're very organized with all of it. They tell you exactly, well, you'll see the economics of it and everything else. And let's see. Hello, Gardner. Gardner's on there too? Sweet. Shalom. All right, so that's pretty cool. And then something else I wanted to talk about. If you guys are, I'm all done with the t-shirt thing. I'm just giving you kind of a lead up there. I don't have a lot of details yet, not until my copy shows up. There is the gardener. Hello. We were on Biddy Boo's channel last night, and the tinkerer's wife was talking about the situation in Portland. And it was getting pretty grim. Apparently over the weekend, they toppled statues and threw flares into these historical society for the city of Portland. That's a problem. That's a big problem because...
Okay, there you go.
Oh, thanks. I can look here. I can look at your things here, but I don't know. There we go. I still shouldn't have to be approving J.A. Dudley's comments. They should just come up. I want to get a few shirts made up for my daughters and I in memory of my son. Hang on. I wanted...
You can read them in there. You don't have to do that. That's why I gave you that.
This is not even... I want to get a few shirts made up for my daughters and in memory of my son. I want an ice cube, and then a banana. Are they good for just a few shirts?
No. But, well, you got to make at least 7, right?
It depends. They tell you how many you have to make, but you are allowed to order just 1 or 2. They call it bonfire supply, and you can do that, but they won't be inexpensive. With them, the more shirts you have printed, the cheaper the shirts are. So, call sign sheepdog, order of Yeshua. Maybe bonfire will work better than Teespring. Have had nothing but problems with Teespring. Shalom, y'all. Pastor gave him his thumbs up, his, what do you call it, stamp of approval?
Bonfire?
Yeah, bonfire. Yeah. And he is very particular, so I think you can at least give it a try. Chicago is nuts too. They call it Chirac. It's so bad. Holy schmoly. There was a social media post about the riot in Portland this weekend, and they said they want to erase colonialism.
So they tip over Teddy Roosevelt and Lincoln's statues.
Right, Abraham
to erase
Lincoln.
colonialism.
To erase colonialism.
And that makes a lot of sense.
To Americans who stood for individual freedom very strongly.
They're just trying to erase all our history so we don't have anything to fall back on, so they can have a revolution and create a new way. That's what they're trying to do.
Right. And
it's just like brainwashing someone.
Right. That's not anti-fascist.
It's communist.
That's straight out of the communist.
Which is anti-fascist. So it's the same. They're communists.
Right. They're communists. It's right out of the communist handbook on how to cause the revolution. It's a federal crime. Trump made it a federal crime and
Yeah, but you
and-
gotta arrest them.
right? You have to arrest them, and if the police are defunded and told
gonna get
they're not
worse.
allowed to, they're going to continue to do it. They're trying to erase what America's history is and what it means to be an American, and we need to resist that. Okay, so let me see. And that is horrible, trying to erase history. It absolutely is. It's how communists do the revolutions. If they can erase a country's history, they can then put in their own way of doing things. Hey, we're all going to be part of a collective, and comrade so-and-so there is going to do this thing, and comrade so-and-so is going to do that thing, and the party member who's at the top gets all the money, and the rest of us get nothing. We get bread lines and lose our individuality and get told where we're going to do and who we're going to marry, where we're going to live, and it's horrible. Erase it and we will repeat it. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, right? And if you repeat it, you're repeating mistakes is basically the worst part of it. You're doing dumb things in order to get to the better things. It's not a good deal. It's anti-American, says the Brit. You're absolutely right, brother. Erasing history makes it easier to manipulate people, and to rewrite history makes it easier to manipulate people. And they're trying to do that in the news. All this fake news is simply to start filling our young people's minds with the wrong information, so when they become adults and make decisions, they make the wrong decisions.
Which is why you should homeschool.
This is why you should homeschool. Back up to Crazy Canuck's question. And what is his question?
It's easier just to ask it again.
How is the Longhouse coming along?
Windows and doors should be in today, and steel starts going up tomorrow. That's the plan.
There are people working very hard on it. That's my perspective. There are people working very hard on it, and they're getting a lot done. I'm afraid the election begins a new and pleasant chapter, but we all can be as ready as possible. Absolutely, and I brought it up in other videos, and someone else talked about it on Video News live stream last night. The 1920s was a time of great social change in America and around the world. The Victorian era, the Edwardian era ended, and the flapper freedom, women cut their hair off, wear short dresses, everybody drinks a lot.
And commies.
And communism, 1919 was the red summer where communism just exploded. That Warren Beatty movie called Reds is about I think it's an American journalist who goes over there and he just gets caught up in the revolution and he thinks it's great. Keep in mind now, the communist revolution in Russia started with the entire family of the Tsar being murdered in cold blood.
And how many people did Stalin kill?
And then Stalin killed 50 million of his own people during World War II. So communism is not a good thing. You don't want it. It is dumbing everybody down, and it's denying you your individuality, and it's definitely a bad deal. So we need to resist it. You can get a better education for your child off of YouTube than you can at a public school. You can also get a better education for your child off of, what are those called? The primer that I used.
McGuffey's Readers.
McGuffey's Readers. It is a set of homeschool books that were written probably right around the turn of the century. And there's 6 or 7 of them, and they start out with just basic sounds and alphabet and stories. And by the time you get to the last one, you're at a graduate level as far as the essays and the vocabulary and the grammar. You can do a better job at home with Ranger Rick magazine than you can at a public school. I remember when I'm here, let's have story time. Story time! Time out! I did substitute teaching for a while when my children were in a regular school. And I went in almost on the last day of a semester. And the teacher had said, just play this movie. And I said, okay. So I was playing the movie, and it was one of those sort of historical documentaries that basically was summing up World War II. And we got into the movie, and we weren't very far along, and they started talking about Russia, and I had to stop and say, did you know Stalin killed 50 million people during that war? No! Keep going, right? There were internment camps in America. Japanese citizens were, put in prison camps in the course of the war. We bombed Nagasaki. I said, stop the movie. Did you realize that if we had not bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the Japanese military machine had sworn to keep fighting till everyone on that island was dead?
They would have lost a lot more civilians if we'd invaded Japan.
Exactly. Their civilian populace was going to fight. They were starving their old people and young people in order to make keep giving their soldiers food, etc. So by bombing that country, we convinced them, you need to stop now. And it did. And the war ended there. We would have lost more soldiers. Australia would have lost more soldiers. The Japanese had decimated Korea, Thailand, Burma.
Not Thailand.
No?
They had Thailand, but they didn't tear them up.
But they killed a lot of Thai civilians.
Not really.
What about the bridge over the River Kwai?
That was prisoners of war.
But there were
Thai
also
civilians.
Thais, I think.
They didn't kill a lot of Thai civilians.
Okay. They certainly did.
Not like they did in China and other places.
In China and other places. And bombed Sydney 78 times during the war. So, just in that one class, I gave all the history I knew. At the end of it, a girl that she's a friend of a student, whatever, comes up to me and said, I learned more in your one class than I did all semester long. So, Stalin was a twisted man. So, my point is, we need to resist communism. It's not a good thing. We don't want it anyway. Public school was a terrible experience with my kids. Would do it all differently if I had to do it again. Damage control the whole time. It's a nightmare. It's true. But you don't always realize what's going on until you find out later, oh, this thing happened, that thing happened. Torah makes it a lot easier to make that decision. I made the decision when we were still Christians, and I made the decision to put my children in a regular school because we were in a small town area, and I thought it would be homier and more conservative, and it still exposed my kids to some bad influence. So yeah, homeschool is definitely the way if you can do it. So let's see here. What is the latest thing out of Chicago? Because we saw a senator, a congressman.
What's today,
Illinois.
Tuesday? How many people got shot last weekend?
Right, how many
In
people
Chicago?
in
I bet it was
Chicago
at least 50.
got shot? More than
More than the
firearms.
Americans probably got shot in Afghanistan and Iraq combined.
Right, more than firearms
weekend.
accidents on the weekend. Who was that? Who was it? The congressman or the senator from Illinois talking to the Supreme Court?
A senator.
A senator. He was saying, Chicago's. He's from
Gun violence is all Indiana's fault.
Right, it's all Indiana's fault because Indiana has,
Because look at Indianapolis. How many people did they kill in Indianapolis this weekend? Maybe none.
well, and supposedly Indiana's rules for buying a firearm
My
are way
point
more
is, it's
lax
not-
than Illinois,
But it's Illinois' problem. It's not Indiana's problem. Indiana doesn't have people dying by the dozens every weekend in their cities.
right, and criminality is not location specific. You can have criminals anywhere, but big cities tend to have more criminals than small towns because it's easier for them to hide there and also to get the things they want there. They didn't get shot, they got COVID. My stepdaughter is in college, and thank you, every day she has a good moral compass, a big heart, and a little naive at times, and those can be used against her, but she has a good moral compass. Illinois is a mess, period. Morals. Where do morals come from, I wonder? Where do you find rules on how to behave there anymore. Hey, Sister Kate, Pastor Joe, how y'all doing? Says Lone Star Living. We're doing great, and you are doing great too. I see your posts on Instagram, and you're making your own chicken, raising them and slaughtering them, and have your garden going and everything. You're doing wonderfully. Illinois. All right. So does anybody have any other information about riots over the weekend? Because we thought Antifa and BLM would calm down once the weather got cold.
It's not really cold yet.
Right? It's not cold yet, but we're getting there.
I didn't think the cold weather had anything to do with it. That was you.
Well, I did, certainly. The world makes me want to move farther out in the boonies.
Come out of her, my people.
There you go. Vicky says Torah is where you get your moral compass. That's exactly right. That is where generally worldly accepted good versus bad comes from, is the Torah. Thou shalt not do these things. Thou will do these things. It's very plain. It's not, well, if you do good now in your other life, you'll also do good. It's pretty cut and dried. Snow yesterday. But it's just an idea. Well, our ewes are fixing the lamb as well. Well, good luck with that. I hope you get a healthy increase. That's what I'm trying to say. No riots, but BLM had a march planned near where I live in Bedford, Pennsylvania. They never showed. What do you attribute that to? Do you think it was the weather, or just they didn't want to be bothered, or they weren't going to
Didn't want to mess with a bunch of coal miners?
Right, didn't want to mess with a bunch of coal miners who like to deer hunt up there in the Pennsylvania hills. This old home said, join Mama Sister. Hope you had a great Mexico. We live in a very small town, and our schools are being taken over with liberal teachers. Seen a big change in my nieces since they graduated. It's very concerning. I took my son out years ago. Crazy Canuck lives in western Canuckistan.
BC?
Canuckistan, I like it, it's cute. He's graduating this year, has done an amazing 28 on his ACT. That's pretty respectable ACT score. Congrats, Mom. I tried to do something in Madison, North Carolina a couple of weeks ago. It fizzled. Because the people who are fueling those things, I've heard the BLM leadership is two very radical women.
Yeah, they're Marxist, right?
Marxist. And the Marxist handbook is going to tell them, go win the hearts and minds of the people and do other things like that. It's going to be very hard to win the hearts and minds of rural America if you are arm in arm with Antifa. And if you're protesting for things that go against the average American citizen.
The flag, apple pie, and mom.
Right? Just things that keep us all united. Being an American citizen is a pretty cool thing. You have all this individual freedom. And if you are trying to get people who are happy in that to think your way is even better, you're going to have to come up with some pretty serious things that they don't have right now. Watching their favorite TV show in their home, secure, not having to worry about terrorists, not having to worry about being invaded by another country, making a decent living under Trump's economy. It's going to be hard to replace that with anything else to get them to follow you. And so I think the reason some of those things aren't happening or it's fizzling out, one, I think it's the temperature. Two, I think it's the audience. You're just not going to get your average American sold on the idea that a Marxist government is going to improve their lives and they should go for it. Crazy Canuck says Alberta.
Alberta.
Yeah. BLM is a Marxist and the CCP Muppets. Would love to move to Alberta. Amen. Most people here just want to live their lives and provide for their families. Right. me wrong. You know that I am all about your First Amendment right. You absolutely have the right to protest. And it's in our Constitution, and so I don't have any problem with anybody flexing that right. If you want to protest because you think dogs should wear tuxedos, go for it. Right? More power to you. Power to the people.
All tuxedos matter.
Right? It's only when people start breaking the law during the protest that it becomes no. It's just a big flat no.
That's a big no.
No. No. And you're not going to win anybody's hearts and minds when you trash other people. It's just not going to. I mean, even that, I can't even remember that woman's name. The mom of someone who was one of the victims said, don't even riot in my son's name or daughter's name. Don't even do it. Like, even the mother was disgusted by the behavior of the rioters. Matt Kelt's on there. Hey, shalom, shalom. Most of the people coming from Portland, it's almost impossible to find work around here. It's crazy, right? Portland is going to, it already has, self-imploded.
Yeah, and it's because of the leadership that the Portlandians elected.
And are allowing to stay in office.
Absolutely, they are letting that happen.
And don't expect everywhere else in America to say, yeah, Portland's got the right idea. Let's just trash our downtown, ruin our history, get rid of our economy. We think that's smart. I think Tulsa's a perfect example.
Yeah, Tulsa. They don't play.
When Trump had his election campaign there, Tulsa's like, no, not happening in our area. You're not going to come riot and trash our town and all that. And wasn't a lot of violence in Tulsa. Didn't have to be a big deal. They just simply organized it in such a way that the riots couldn't happen. Expect that in most American towns. Most of the useful idiots have no idea what a Marxist government is or what that will look like for them.
It's free stuff, right? Come on, it's free stuff. Give me free stuff.
Matt Kill, you're exactly right. And something else that we haven't discussed yet. It's being sold to them in TV shows and video games and commercials and news reports. We call it out all the time. We do on our channels. When socialist ideas and communist ideas are being snuck into things, we call it out. That's how they're programming them to accept it. It's not going to work on us, but it'll work on a younger generation that's being brought up in a liberal school where ideas like everything's free and I need to save the world, I need to come up with that social program where I'm going to recycle something or I'm going to pick up cans and I'm going to donate the money to help homeless puppies or something. That all that is even in Girl Scouts. That's why I stopped being a Girl Scout leader. When they started pushing the socialist ideas, I'm like, nope, not going to do it. I volunteer my time here. I am not going to voluntarily form the minds of these young girls to accept socialist ideas. The Greek homestead, shalom. I hope everyone is doing well. Things are very messy on this side of the world. I think the Greek homestead is actually in Greece.
Let's go.
What's going on there, Greek homestead? Would love to hear about it. All right, let me see what Jesus said. I know we are in the wrong place because that's all we want. It doesn't happen that way here. Bless you, Sister Kate. Well, thank you. Powder blue ruffled tuxedos. Those are the best. Oh, man.
Remember those 70s tuxedos?
I was going to say, remember the 70s tuxedos? Oh my gosh, they were so funny. All right. And from the current Canadian government, just saying. Yeah, I keep leaving you out, but you're right. I know they're pretty leftist.
You think? And they have a weirdo for a PM. Trudeau. He's weird.
He is very strange.
They elected him.
Antifa and BLM are for bad parents too soft to teach and let the schools be the parents. That's exactly right. We have two of our children who are teachers. And said when they were going through college that the students who were in the education classes with them were very wishy-washy. They were PE majors who couldn't do the PE thing, and so they just defaulted to, well, I guess I'll be a teacher.
Oh, hamster people.
And they were statistics. Pastor researched this. I'm looking at this. I should be looking at you all. Hi, crew. Statistics shows that teachers in general have the worst SAT scores and the worst grades of all the people in college. And so you're getting the bottom of the barrel students who just say, oh, well, I guess I can't hack the history curriculum, so I'll be a teacher. And people like that are just not going to be very excited about teaching your kids correct information. They're not going to be excited about making sure that the students actually learn anything. And so the education system has been dumbed down, and the fact that the NEA has so much control also makes it harder for local school systems
Homeschool.
to teach what they want to teach. We're going to withhold money for your roads if you don't teach what we want you to teach, kind of thing. It's a mess. That is why the CCP with traitors attacked the U.S. and allies this way. This is truth on the wind. As nasty grows, they use Marxist groups to divide. So when nasty boils over, the traitors and left blame Trump and the right. It's exactly right. Trump is being painted as all sorts of horrible things on social media, and the young people are reading that and accepting it, and it's the exact opposite of the truth. They
have no critical thought.
And they shall call good evil and evil good. It's in the Bible. They talk about that, and that's literally what's happening. And Pharma says, yes, we are located in they have been attacking small farms in Canada for some time now, trying to snuff us out. We are located in Greece, a useless government, and Erdogan as a constant threat to almost everyone in the
Erdogan is a very real threat to Greece. Just watch.
To everyone in the Eastern Mediterranean.
Yep. He wants to restore the Ottoman Empire.
Right? And didn't somebody just went to war with Armenia?
Azerbaijan, and he's supporting Azerbaijan.
Right, that whole area is...
Of course, I think we're on Azerbaijan's side too, which is ridiculous. And Greece is on Armenia's side, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right? At least Greece.
I think Greece is on Armenia's side.
Homeschooling is the key. Hey, Northwest Arkansas Prepper, good afternoon. My family homeschooled...
Oh, there you are.
There you are. My family homeschooled before it was cool. I grew up not going outside before 3:30, the time schools let out, for fear of getting Child Protective Services called out on us.
Yeah, who was that?
That's Lone Star Living. That's the truth, too. Homeschooling was very marginal when we started looking at it.
Yep.
And that was, what, the early 90s?
Yeah.
Not many people had homeschooled yet, and it wasn't accepted in a lot of states, and it's come a long way. And part of it is because Jay Sekulow did legal things and helped it be more acceptable in different states. Crazy Canucks back to work. Thanks for this break in the day. Shalom to all you amazing brothers and sisters. Shalom, Crazy Canuck. A teacher confronted my son at the local gas station concerning homeschooling and eventually history. My son stayed respectful but stood for what he believes and knows. Wow. That's kind of weird too. A teacher confronted my daughter once, and I was really kind of mad about that. What's an adult confronting a kid for? Teacher had to Google a lot to stay in the conversation. Well, good. Right? Homeschool kids test at the top of all standardized testing. That's bold. Sure it was. We are homeschooling. Some of the schools here have BLM propaganda painted on almost every wall.
Wow.
It is insane. It is insane.
It's going to get worse.
It would be illegal in America. You're not supposed to be able to push any agenda, supposedly, in schools. But try to wear a Christian t-shirt. Or try to wear...
MAGA.
A MAGA hat.
I bet you can't wear a MAGA hat, but I bet you can wear a BLM hat.
Right? How is it that BLM is accepted and anything else isn't? That's fascist right there.
It's also racist.
And it's racist. Okay, pastor is white. We've been on the Armenian side. Same path, same culture. Pray for wisdom. We are living in very difficult times, and I think it is only going to be more difficult. That's from the Greek Homestead.
Yeah, watch Cyprus.
Well,
Watch Cyprus.
bless you, Greek Homestead, for hanging and supporting Armenia, because Armenia was the first country to declare itself a Christian nation.
I thought Georgia was.
Nope. Armenia was. Remember about the mountain in Armenia and the grapes and everything?
Yep. Back road.
Yep. And the Turks wiped out, what, 1 million Armenians in World War I?
Armenian genocide.
It was a genocide. It's awful. That poor, tiny little country with these Muslim countries on either side of it. My grandma used to talk about the starving Armenians. So, bless you for sticking with them and hang in there. I know you don't have a lot of options because you're surrounded by so much other stuff. And yeah, watch Cyprus. That's where I was born. That's where I was evacuated from when I was just a baby. Hey, I'm getting all worked up. They feel entitled to their false doctrine and brainwashing. Amen, Jane. Okay. CCP are insane and cowards. Is that
They
Chinese
lowered the
Communist
speed
Party?
limit on this road. Yeah.
Really? It was?
Yeah, it used to be 80 and 75.
Oh no, I thought it was 75, and then we might have pushed it a little bit. That's how you.
I thought it was 80.
But I don't think it was ever 80. Chinese Communist Party are insane and cowards. They also have a very long view
I don't
in
know if they're
China.
cowards or insane. I mean, they're functioning.
They have a very long view. They don't rush into things, and they do things slowly and carefully. They're not willing to risk anything until they absolutely think they're going to win. So you got to keep your eye on them because they sneak in. Our local government painted Black Lives Matter on a main drag in the largest part of our province, largest city in our province. Does that make any sense to you? That they paint these Black
Is this
Lives
in Alberta?
Matters? No, she's in somewhere else in Canada. But
Where in Canada?
Farmush, where are you? I know you probably said it in the past. Pastors,
I'm just wondering how many Black lives there are in the Canadian province.
well, not only that, why does Black Lives Matter get to paint something on a street and not,
Native lives matter.
or kitty cats should be pink,
French lives matter.
or, oh man, I can't even think of something really outrageous. Abortion kills. Why can't that be painted? Why does Black Lives Matter get to have something painted and nobody else does? That's not American.
Well, they're Canadian.
Yeah, but it's happened in America too. I caught you on, yay, Minnie Boo. Minnie Boo, I was talking about you because your subscribers are called Minnie Boo's Crew, and my subscribers said they wanted to be called Kate's Crew. So we got two crews. She says hi to both of us. One of the most liberal provinces, said Pharma.
Quebec?
The Greek Homestead said the same time that the Armenian genocide happened, also the Greek genocide happened. 350,000 souls. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. But what does Pastor mean when he says to watch for Cyprus?
The Greeks are going to start flexing their muscles in Cyprus. They're in northern Cyprus now, right? North and east.
I would prefer you did. I'd rather have the Greeks control Cyprus than the Turks.
Yeah, but the Turks are going to watch. They're going to try and take some more.
Well, you be careful out there, Greeks. Do not let the Turks have the rest of Cyprus.
They shouldn't have the part they have.
They shouldn't have the part they have.
This thing looks like a BMP in us.
Okay, so CCP and PLA are cowards. They attacked using a bioweapon on the USA and allies hidden in a deep fake, and traitors are helping. It's possible.
It doesn't make you a coward when you attack somebody in a sneaky way.
I do agree that COVID...
It's just we throw terms around that we probably should put a little bit more thought into. They're not cowards.
They're underhanded.
Sneaky.
And COVID could be a bioweapon.
Inscrutable for you.
The argument against it being, a bioweapon is how many of their own people got it and died from it. But hey, it's China. They're probably willing to take the hit.
I think they were developing a bioweapon and it got out. That's what I think.
Mine are Boo's crew. Mine are Kate's crew. Alright. Let's see. Canada is betrayed in a beachfront for PLA attack on the USA. The one thing about these kind of theories is how easy that would actually be. Have you ever been to the western part of Canada? It's not like a little walk in the park. And to any army that is not used to rough, rugged territory, it would be a real shocker if they did that. And
that's like all the Indonesians in the Michigan swamp, or all the Chinese piled up on the Mexico border. It's just not true.
It's not true, and it's not going to happen that way. The other problem with that is the supply line. That's a really long way to try to support a military. Anyway. This old homestead's house is going up for sale in the spring, and then they'll be moving our way. Yay!
Put it up for sale now and ask what you're going to ask in the spring anyway. Because I know you have things you want to do to fix it up and get it ready, and you have a price point in mind. List it now at that price point and see if the father doesn't just sell it out right from under you.
He absolutely
to get
could.
You out of there sooner.
He absolutely could. We have a Canadian saying, especially in this part of our country and at this time. Exactly. PLA will come ashore at Kitimat. They have a deep water port and a pipeline to Prince George, a runway that can land supercargo planes. Canada is betrayed. I still think you got to look at the logistics and the cost, and
it's people who don't understand military operations.
It's just so much harder and larger than you think.
And if they tried to land soldiers on on Canada's soil, we'd nuke them.
So it's just not a practical thing. She said, thanks, Pastor. I'll tell hubby from this old homestead about your advice. I understand more than you know. You all write in capital letters, so you've got about 3 seconds of carrying on in this way, and then you may have to leave the live chat. I'm just letting you know. You're talking to somebody with 20 years military experience and someone whose family has worked for the government for years and has also traveled internationally, and sorry. Norm is saying they will kill the grid first. Well, if they kill the grid, they have to operate without it too. It's kind of hard to use those super techy, wonderful things without a grid.
They're ready for it. They're all EMP hard.
Sure. And watch and see, I warn, because this is going to happen.
Okay.
We will see about that. I really don't think Canada is a threat to the States, maybe a threat to ourselves. I don't think you're a threat to us either. I think we have an absolutely funny rivalry and shared border, and generally just don't want to
have lots of forest products and maple syrup.
And hockey, and neither country really wants to do a whole lot more than just enjoy watching our TVs, eating our food.
What did Brian used to say Canadians. He was a Canadian helicopter pilot. He said Canadians were nice but boring.
Nice but dull.
Oh, dull, yeah.
Which I thought he and his wife were absolutely adorable.
Yeah, they were awesome people.
Okay, the Greek homestead said, I don't think so. The Greek government is kind of useless, but we try to be prepared. Americans should be thankful to Yah for being able to have guns in the homeschool. Many areas of this world don't. Exactly. Exactly, brother. And I feel you because it's so frustrating. I remember when I was worried that homeschooling would be illegal and it caused me huge stress. So, yeah, I get it. Even if that happened, if memory serves, Canada's military is still pretty good. We'd help even if Biden were in office. Well, if Chinese troops landed on your territory, I would certainly expect you to take offense to that, Canada. Absolutely.
We worked with PPCLI and JTF too. They're good.
Well, shoot. We actually had a little dance together with the princess.
Patricia's Canadian Light
Infantry. And their drum guys, too. They were amazing. You are not the only one who knows military or were in it, so lower the pride because you are walking in it. Okay, that's the end, guy. Wes.
Bye-bye.
Somebody, can you just say bye-bye to that fella right there? Because
I think you made me a moderator, sweetie. You can do it on my phone right there.
I think somebody already got him. Wes, did you get that? Biddy Boo got him. Thank you.
Way to go, Biddy Boo.
Very good. Very good. What do you do when somebody does a good one like that? You do like a little clap or a zoom or
I can't clap, I'm driving.
Boom. Nice.
Boom.
Yeah. My brother was part of the PPCLI. Aww.
It's a good unit.
It's a good unit, and we really had a good time at the joint thing that we did with them. Boo says I can't shoot straight, Biddy Boo says. I mean, some of the things that person was saying made some sense, and some of it...
Delivery was disrespectful.
Right.
Come on.
Some of it we should be keeping our eye on, but delivery was a little bit rude, and it's my channel, so sorry. That was starting to do my head in. Abe said, mine too, Abe. Like, it's a little early in the day to start throwing insults
Yeah,
around
haven't
on
started
the
drinking
channel,
yet.
right? Dropping the ban hammer. Yeah, that's right. How much life support do you think is left for the USA? What do you mean by life support? You tell me that, and I'll tell you what I think.
I'll let you know November
Yeah,
10th.
yeah. This election is gonna be huge. It could cause a huge leftist swing in American
It
politics.
could cause a civil war.
It could. He thinks it could set off a civil war. I certainly hope that wouldn't happen.
Oh, me
but
too.
It's
I hope
possible,
it
right?
doesn't happen either. I like being able to drive anywhere we want to drive.
Right? I really don't want to be fighting against other Americans. I really don't. I think we should all just get along.
Can't we all just get along?
Can't we? I would love to. Abe says he's still on his first cup of coffee because it's what, 9 in the morning there or something, Abe? Is that right? It's 8 p.m. here in Scotland. Okay, so you're 6 hours ahead. He's got his beer in hand. Nice to know, Norm. I hope you enjoy
You
it.
know, can't you get scotch pretty cheap in Scotland? Scotland forever.
Are you saying he needs to upgrade his relaxation
I'm
beverage?
just thinking if I lived in Scotland, I'd be drinking like the Macallan or something.
Action Jackson Nomad. I like that name. Shalom. Before it all falls apart, but you touched on it. Exactly. I mean, we've been alive now almost 60 years.
Oh
We've
my
seen-
goodness.
We got some gray up in here. We got
I'm
show a
all
little
great.
wisdom, show a little respect here. Gray beard, white beard. We've seen a lot of our governments come and go. We've seen a lot of our culture change from like
I voted for Reagan.
the
It's my
hippie
first
era
election.
to like Nixon and Ford, which was just boring, and Carter, who caused he was such a nice man, but as a president he was weak, and so there was a gas shortage and a sugar shortage and
The Iranian
speed
hostage
limit-
crisis.
Iranian hostage crisis and speed limit 55 all across the country. I'm sure Wisconsin's and,
Oh, they did the thing with the temperature too in all the
right, the
buildings.
Wyoming people were just shaking their head. 55, really? Texans, can you imagine? And also all the temperature and all the government buildings had to be taken down to like 62 or something because they were going to save a bunch of nonsense. And then from there, Reagan gets elected, and it's all about yuppies, young urban professionals, and everybody making money and
Make America great again.
right, tech companies booming and
Military plus.
military, yeah. great
Mr.
benefits,
Gorbachev, tear
growth,
down that wall.
right. The wall falls down under Reagan, and then we go to Bush,
Yeah, Bush won and Bush won.
and then Clinton, which was just another like throwback to, oh yes, peace and love and all this wonderful stuff. And by the way, we're going to start a war in Kosovo.
This
and
is U.S.
Serbia.
history by Sister Kay.
Right, just quick. It should be U.S. drunk history. It'd be a lot funnier. And then
Reagan was around the same time as Maggie, though, right?
yeah,
The Iron Lady.
right, the Falklands and all that. And then Obama gets elected. Obama brings around a lot of change, and that's
Yes, we can.
the election campaign is about change. And again, early part of a century. You know, we're looking at the equivalent of that being around 1910 and the growth in America and technology and blah 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 blah. And it is a new chapter in American politics. But he doesn't bring about the change they're expecting. He tries some liberal policies.
Oh, he hated America. That was the problem.
Right, and they kind of fall flat, and so a good part of the American public's not happy. Their jobs aren't getting better, taxes aren't getting less. The whole everybody's got to have health insurance, and some people's health insurance improves, but a lot of people's gets more expensive. They have less choice, and it makes the populace unhappy. And so when his successor Hillary runs, Trump, who's a businessman, is able to beat her. And he brings the economy back up, and he does all sorts of programs to help all sorts of groups.
Peace treaties with Israel.
Right? In his
No
first
war with Russia.
3 to 4 years, he's done all sorts of amazing things. And then the pandemic hits, and we've already talked about that causes a change, a social change, a political change when something as big as a pandemic hits. And it's all really, it's interesting. I think it's important to look at it with a historical perspective and to be ready for change, because if you're not and change happens, you're going to have your feet knocked right out from under you. So you need to have your eyes open and your ear to the ground. Just popping in to say hi from Okie Storm Shade. We'll have to catch the replay too loud in this doctor's waiting room. Well, I hope everything's okay, brother. Did she reinstate J.A.? AIDS lives in the UK, but he's been living on Mountain Time for the past 25 years. That's funny.
Where in the UK does he live?
Where in the loop, he said, but I don't remember. Tell us again where in the UK you live, Aid.
Like south, central, northern, what?
Trump is half Scots and German, Norm Holland says. Can't be all bad if you got some Scots in you. Sister
I'm not
Kate,
all bad when I get some scotch in me.
Sister Kate, Pastor Joe, did you guys hear about news on the deaths of SEAL Team 6?
Yeah, I'm withholding judgment on that mess too.
He's withholding judgment on that. Lancashire.
Where
Which
is that?
Is that southern western? Is it midwestern, northwestern? I know you told me. You'll forgive me that I don't remember it. Is it bad that I'm already ready for Shabbat to be here? Said this old homestead. We are too, sister.
I'm not. I have a lot of work to do this week.
I'm ready for Shabbat.
We had 2 double Shabbats in a row.
Doesn't mean I'm not ready for another one.
All right. So
Just
you and
saying.
Tim can Shabbat.
Right.
Actually, I'll be Shabbating when it comes to.
North of Wales.
North of Wales.
Holy smokies, Lancashire's up north.
Are people bugging out of Lancashire? Lancashire?
There's one other thing I wanted to talk about on the live stream.
I keep talking to that phone. Everybody's right there.
I know, I keep looking at this one. I know you're there. I appreciate you all. Email me for a good malt PJ box number.
All right.
He
Is that
says,
Norm?
Yep, that's Norm.
I will.
He will do that thing, Norm. North of Wales. No, we already had that.
I watched a thing on Wales. They have they call it the something, they fly low level through it. I can't remember what they call it. It's a conjunction of one of the names of the towns there. But airplanes fly really low level through these mountains in Wales. It's pretty cool.
Abe says there's nowhere to bug out to, really.
Huh.
He wants to come to America.
Well,
Wes wants to sponsor him, but I think...
then give him a job, Wes.
But I think he said that right now he's not allowed to come because of COVID.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that right, Aid?
Sneak in.
Well, we were telling him, like, get a ship and do the Viking thing and go, like, Iceland, Greenland, Canada, whatever.
Hop off the ship. Yeah, we're probably going to run out of power up here.
Hang on. They're still there. Hey, we're missing. You're slow. Your phone is slower. We're still live. Just staring at the thing. Your phone's not up to date, though, I don't think. See if I can. No, I will try to remember the other thing I wanted to talk about. It's too expensive to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks.
Where?
You mean if you came here, Aid?
Oh, because you got a quarantine? Is that it? They have some cheap hotels. They have hotels about $80 a night.
I think it's cheaper than that if you find a Hotel 6.
Well, if you find one with all the hookers and drug dealers in it, it's probably, what, $50 a night?
Because SK's phone is high speed. That's right. He's got this old iPhone and it's very cranky. Heck, you won't need a hotel. Just tell him you'll be staying in a cabin in the woods. That's right. That's right, Aid. Tell him your friends are going to let you quarantine in a cabin. This Aid over here. Oh, I know the answer to that. Find a single woman he can marry. Just become a citizen by marrying an American.
Actually, do you know when you marry, you don't automatically become a
I know,
citizen?
you still have to do paperwork and all that. If I go to Dallas, I have to stay at the airport hotel. Cheapest rooms are $56 a day. That's not a bad price, Aid. Although, you know, I don't know what that means to you. Euros.
$700. Well, probably $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, and the flight will be another $1,000. Let's start to talk some money.
It's a big country. Well, Texas is probably, what, 4 times bigger than England?
I think you should do a GoFundMe. Send me to America. Have a fundraiser. I'm trying to think of something that would be like a donkey pool or something. Got a brother.
I know how you can sneak into America. Ask a Mexican.
Then have them fly into McAllister. I can pick you up.
Yeah, or fly into Mexico and then just walk across.
There you go. Just catch a ride with one of the coyotes, jump in a truck and get caught by the customs. I'm a Brit. I don't know how I wound up here. I was trying
Yeah,
to
OTM. That's what they call them, other than Mexicans when they
Right.
catch them.
I thought I was going into New York LaGuardia. Where the hell am I? Did we pass the elk farm?
I don't think so.
There's an elk farm along our drive, and I think it's the coolest thing that people are farming elk. I have thought about doing that. Is it true land in the Ozarks costs $3,000 an acre because it costs $6,000 an acre here in Greece?
know a place near us where you can get land for
Yeah, your phone is toast. I can't.
1,000 an acre or something.
Because here it costs $6,000 for less than a tenth of an acre.
Oh, that's a lot.
Holy cow! Yes, it's true. We can, and if you just don't care where you're going in America, there is rural land here that goes for $1,000 an acre.
You could buy houses and 4 city lots for $4,000.
In some of the small towns in America, you can get land really cheap at tax sales. Worked in Louisiana.
Oil and gas?
Wrestling gators. Catching guard.
Hanging out with Cajuns in the swamp?
Military training in the swamp. Were you a pirate, Norm?
Scottish pirate.
Louisiana. It's been done before.
Where were the brothers Lafitte from?
Lafitte, I think, were French. Yes. They were businessmen in New Orleans, maybe. Right. There's another kind of 100,000. Sell that thing and move to other pieces. Okay, shalom, y'all. Hang on. I have to go. Bless you, sister and pastor. Video will investigate the subscription issue. Much love and shalom. All right, bless you, Sister Kim. Glad you could make it. Pandemic. That was going to be something else I talked about. Although, I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about the pandemic or something else? Trying to convince somebody to look for a job in the States. Do we think that's wise to come here from Canada right now? No? We think Canada's probably a better bet, sister.
Let's get some land in Canada away from people.
Wait till the election at least.
Yeah,
Come down
see
here
what's
and it could
going
be a
on. Get some
huge
land
mess.
in Canada.
Right? Build a longship. It's been done before. Douglas Hemingway. It's been done before. Been a lot of ships lost. Some from the Wild Branch. It's the Squatch. I wish a Hawaiian shirt and a lot of some things we need to do. Yeah, we're in a bad part, but it'll get better because we're heading towards civilization. Need to finish up here, make our house sellable. It's a big work in progress, like me. Well, Pastor says, list it now and see if the Lord will bless it. Okay. Farmhouse says they have land, they just have no rights up there. Said buffering should be better at least for a little while. I didn't get an answer. He doesn't word it. No, we're still here. We can still see y'all's comments. Did you want to talk about anything else, Pastor? Preparedness?
No, I gotta focus on driving.
Gotta focus on the driving.
Well, you should talk about something.
Yeah, I think I might talk about the geese. Because someone I know found some geese on Craigslist and they were in our area. And so I got an email saying, could you please go pick up these geese for me? Duck for dinner tonight. Oh my goodness. Ooh, nice. Duck la Roche. The War Against God. Shalom, Pastor and Sister Kate. That is Brother Frank. No, Brother Alden.
Is it?
That's Brother Alden.
Shalom,
hey,
brother.
Shalom, Brother Alden. How you doing?
He just joined us in Missouri.
Did he? Wow. Did you make it back home safely, brother? So I had to go pick up these geese, and I drove out there. And geese can be very aggressive sometimes. Oh, a Ledwin's painting a landscape. I would love to see that. Yes, ma'am, they got back fine. Good. We enjoyed our time with you. I especially liked your wife. She's a toughie. She doesn't look like a toughie, but she a toughie. anyway, we went and picked up these geese, and I was trying to check them out for the person I was picking them up for, and I wasn't sure what I was looking for, and I was really prepared to like have to get in there and wrestle these things, and they were pretty big. I mean, almost as big as a dog sitting up like that. But they were pretty calm, and we got them in a container and brought them home, and I just really like them. I don't know, there's something about them.
They crap all over the place. So.
They do make a big mess. If one were to keep geese, one would definitely need a place to put them. What breed of geese is not aggressive? Because I want sweet geese. These are Toulouse goose, and there's two different varieties, and one's bigger than the other, and I think this one's the bigger one. They're called dewlap. They are supposed to be a calmer goose, and it could be these ones are older, but they really do kind of walk slow and just...
They look cool.
Yeah, they look very dignified.
Yeah, they do.
And if you go on like Murray McMurray's website and look up geese, they tell you what the different breeds are for and what their temperament is. And there are a few others that, forgive me, I think Pilgrim might have been one of them, that are calmer. Let's try this again. Lost all signal on my end. Shalom and greetings. There is the squatching it. If Canadian geese are anything like Canadians, they're pretty nice, eh? Yeah, I think they're pretty wild. My sister has some Asian geese. Those suckers are mean. I've also seen Egyptian geese, which are really interesting looking. They look like a piece of artwork. I saw them on a animal rescue show that's in England. And I thought, oh, that might be worth looking into, but I've not seen them sold commercially. Norm, you said dead geese are placid. Norm, did you have another beer? But geese are supposed to be good alarms. They are supposed to raise a fuss when they see things they don't like. And they are too big for small predators to carry off. Like a possum, I don't think can carry off a full-grown goose. Geese live a long time. They can live, I think, up to 20 years, maybe? Definitely 10. They live quite a while, yeah. And they lay really big eggs. Really big eggs. I need to find one somewhat psycho goose for flock security. I know someone who has a goose that would fit your parameter, but the goose is in Washington State, so it might be kind of hard to get it to you.
Is it for sale?
The person was looking for another home for it, but I mean, that's a long way to try to get it. If you want to drive out there, I'm sure she'd be willing to let you have it. You need my sisters at the school. We had geese in the past, and these dogs killed them.
That's why you have a shotgun.
To shoot the dogs? Well, I didn't shoot the dogs, but I was not happy with the dogs. They got walloped pretty good.
Our dogs killed?
Our dogs killed all 4. Haggis season starts tomorrow. Oh, get out of here, Norm. Isn't that a sheep's intestine?
Sheep brains, I think, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was an intestine.
I think it's brains. Whatever it is, it's something gross.
It's funky, man. No, not gonna do it. I had 2 white geese that were real nice to me, but they hated Rick. That's her husband. Yeah, that probably didn't go over very well with him, did it? I got along with our geese before they were killed. I got along with the dominant male pretty well. He didn't try to attack me, which is good. My son said something like geese have to have their food wet. Aid says haggis is very good. Well, what is it?
I think it's sheep brains.
Come on, let them tell us. I'm sure one of them can tell us. Anyway, he had geese, and someone babysat his geese for him and didn't make sure the food was wet, and it killed 2 of his geese. So it's sheep stomach.
Oh.
Stuffed sheep intestines. Could you not just stuff something else?
Well, what a German sausage is made originally by stuffing intestines.
An intestine, but the Germans
And
also...
the mountain men used to eat, I can't remember what they called it, but they would roast intestines on the coals.
Wait a minute. Sheep stomach stuffed with meat and barley.
That might be good.
Come on, let's put...
It's like a sausage, right?
Let's put meat and barley in something else, like a grape leaf, instead of a sheep intestine.
It's like original sausage.
Heart, lungs, and liver, and barley, and eggs. What that is right there, I'm here to tell you.
That's poor people food.
That's poor people starving kind of food. You need protein, you eat all that stuff.
Oh, no, thank you. I'll have a porterhouse, please.
It's like a sausage. You don't eat the stomach. So you just cook it in the stomach?
I'm not eating lungs.
When I was digging trail...
Or liver.
Wait a minute. When I was digging trail, call sign sheepdog, we had this haggis spread stuff, and we would challenge each other to eat it, and whoever could go the longest without puking. Wait a minute. Didn't have to help clean camp the next day.
Oh.
It's a plucky dish, a legend says. Please pass the pinto beans, says Landkeeper.
Yeah, beans and rice, baby.
Oh, okay, so it's a pudding. It's boiled in a bag.
It just gets better and better.
Come on now.
Woof.
Sheep heart and liver, kidneys, with barley, and boil in the stomach lining.
No, thank you.
Black
Pass.
pudding is not good, Sasquatch. Stop it.
Black pudding is not Torah.
It's blood, right?
Right.
We can't eat that. About the only thing stuffed cabbage is for halupki and dough for pierogi. Exactly. Now we're talking. Pierogi, and he called them halupki.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Halishkis.
Right. Cabbage is awesome with that. Love it.
Sauerkraut's good. Kimchi's good.
Right? I'd so try haggis. Geese says.
Who said? No, we're not stopping.
No, okay.
Who said?
Beeski.
Where does Beeski live? You could probably
Pennsylvania.
You could probably get haggis in Pennsylvania.
You can definitely get scrapple, which is
I like
so
scrapple.
funky.
I do like scrapple. I don't eat it anymore, but I like it.
I will stick with just country cooking, Bitty Boo says. There you go. Mashed potatoes, some steak, some green beans.
Chicken fried steak.
I've had chicken hearts. Those are good. I had chicken you're in the wrong right. Chicken liver, chicken fried lips. One of those things that I was pregnant, I wanted to eat that, and I never eat it normally. I love Scrabble, but it's made with pork, right?
I don't eat it anymore.
There must be a way to make a Scrabble equivalent that doesn't have pork in it. Our red deer are amazing.
I believe it. They're kind of like little elk.
Right? They're pretty big. I made chicken fried steak last night for dinner. See? Bitty Boo and I have been on the same wavelength all week long. Last night, we were talking about the Portland thing, and at the same time she said, nobody has common sense anymore. I was thinking, nobody has common sense anymore. Like, word for word, our thoughts are the same. Haggis is actually illegal in the U.S.
Illegal?
Why? J. John's makes beef scrapple. See, there you go, Mad Kelp. There you go. You want your scrapple? You just have to figure out a way to make it. So you
What
can
would
eat
be
it.
illegal about haggis? You could make haggis.
People, please, the Greek homestead says. Pasticcio and a Greek salad. Well, dude, you're probably having things like heroes and kebabs and things over there in Greece. Oh, I would love to have some. I would love some tzatziki and some tabbouleh. Some of the ingredients are illegal, Aid
Like
says.
what? Barley's not? Sheep's not?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I bet you can buy haggis in the U.S. I'm going to look that up when I quit driving.
You can make it for yourself, but you can't sell it, Aid says. Maybe they can't guarantee that, like, sheep heart and liver and everything is healthy. Like, the sheep's okay. Alright, hang on. Sasquatch says, pastry, turkey, roast taters, and fresh from the garden greens.
I like meat pot pies.
Are we all hungry? Is that why we?
I am. I'm eating one meal a day.
We're back to the intermittent fasting.
So no, I'm eating one meal a day.
Hang on. I only have. Wait. What time is it?
2:30.
I only have an hour and a half more to eat today, and then I can't eat anything else. So I may have to chew some chips during the live stream. Government believes it must save us little people from ourselves.
Yes, the government knows best.
Heroes and tahini is amazing.
Amazing.
It is. Tahini is, and hummus.
Hummus?
On naan bread, or
I don't think that's Greek. I think that's Israeli.
Israeli, but it's still good.
Hummus.
Turn right. Olives. I'm not down with olives, but I know a lot of people here are. Goodness. Sasquatch, he's down to one meal a day too. And Pharma says she does 2 meals a day. And let's see what else. Pushing the wrong way. There we go. Roasted red pepper hummus and raw veggies. Delish! It is delish. It's yummy, as we like to say. I don't think I'm going to be able to get back on your YouTube thing.
No.
And we probably have service right now.
I'm sure we have great service right now.
The next time we run out of service, then we'll end the stream. We're almost 2 hours into it. We invite you. Oh, heroes are good, but extremely unhealthy. Oh.
What's unhealthy about meat and pita bread?
This is why it's so good. It's probably the meat itself's kind of fatty or something. We would love to go to Greece.
I would like to go to Greece if it was safe.
I would like to go to Greece too. I think it would be a hoot. I'd like to see some old Greek ruins.
I'd like to drink some ouzo.
I'd like to drink some ouzo on the beach.
And that wine that comes in the basket.
Hummus is Mediterranean, someone said.
Ah.
When will y'all be heading to Oklahoma?
In about 10 minutes.
I still want to do a world tour. I think that would be a hoot.
I do too. We can do military hops after this COVID thing's over.
After COVID's over, maybe Pastor and I will start traveling. Are we going to stop and see you? Miss Biddy, nope, you're way too far west for us.
I want to go see Norm.
I want to go see Norm too. I think seeing Norm would be really awesome. And I'd like to swing through and see Aid on the way.
I want to see Gordon in Thailand.
I'm not as excited about going to Thailand because it's so hot.
We'll go in the cool season.
And I want to see an elephant if I go to Thailand. West. Yes. You're west of us right now. Do you have any other? Well, we could go see Crazy Canuck and Pharma, Canada.
That's not really traveling going to Canada.
I've been to Vancouver.
Been to Crow's Nest Pass. And Edmonton. Calgary.
See? He's already been. Hey, PJF. Uzo is good. Tispuro is something. Hang on. Someday I'll go west of the Mississippi. Like Lampkeeper says. Tispuro is way better, but yeah, Greece is not safe, sadly. Norm says he's got a room available.
I think it would be cool to go there.
Oh, she says come to Nova Scotia. It's beautiful.
High tides in Nova Scotia. Big difference.
Isn't that where that Viking settlement was found? Wasn't that Nova Scotia?
On Sox Meadows or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shalom Shield Maiden says, just saw y'all on. We've been on an hour and 44 minutes. What you been doing?
What you been doing?
Come visit. You can stay in the shed. Oh, that's an offer we can't refuse.
Is that from Norm?
No, that's from Pharma. Norm has a room.
Oh, yeah.
Only if I get to play with your Welsh ducks. I love those ducks. She's got gorgeous ducks. Oh, Lampkeeper's been to Kiev.
Kiev.
The architecture was astounding.
If I was in Kiev, I would have, what's that soup called?
Goulash?
No, the soup that you make with beets.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Come on now.
I make it pretty well.
Right. It starts with a B. Come on.
Come on, what's the soup in Ukraine? It's beef-based.
Borscht. Yes, borscht.
I love borscht.
We make a mean borscht.
I make a pretty mean borscht when I
But
look
you
at it.
gotta have the black bread and the sour cream with it, or you're not getting the total
That's
experience.
right.
The dentist prices in Kiev were amazing. Dentist prices in Asia were pretty amazing too.
I wouldn't mind going to Eastern Europe, the former Eastern Europe.
Geese says, you make the borscht, I'll bring the halop geese. Man, maybe we should do like a Shofar Mountain cooking conference and let everybody come and cook their favorite dish. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Now I'm thinking about an Eastern European tour. We go to Romania, Croatia, Bulgaria.
Come on, I want to go.
We could go up through Ukraine and end up in Poland. I love Poland.
I want to go meet up with the Serbians who corrected me on my one video and said, we're the ones who saved the American pilots. I want to meet those people and shake their hand. Buy them a beer. Fed them plum wine and some sort of bread. No, goat cheese. Goat cheese and plum wine to keep them alive. I've been to Poland a lot of times and it's a very interesting place to visit. Pastor liked it. He said Poland was pretty.
Yeah, I really liked it.
There's absolutely no reason to come to New Jersey.
I'm not ever going back to New Jersey. I swore off of Newark. That airport is ridiculous.
I've been through New Jersey several times. But if some reason you have a second home and a hot meal here in the mountains.
Hey.
That would be nicer if you were up in the mountains, not on the coast.
There's no mountains in New Jersey.
Come on, they have
There's
a
no
little
mountains
house in the
in New
mountains
Jersey.
up there.
You got that's nice.
And it would be clean and for us to eat too. That's why people are trying to grab power, keep power, and force stuff that they start getting really wicked. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I grew up in Maine and it's beautiful this time of year.
Except you can't get to Maine except for driving through New York. That's why I'll never go to Maine.
That is from Melissa. There's probably not a lot of people in Maine either, is there, Melissa?
Maine?
What if we took a ferry?
We could fly.
We
But
could
then I
fly
can't take my
over
guns.
here.
Yeah. So we're just not going to Maine. It's not.
Let's just.
New York
how about
is
a
in the way.
train? No.
Can't.
Victor Melling. Why is New Jersey called the Garden State?
At one time it was.
Wait, Gracie Hart. I think it's a joke. Gracie Hart, because. No, wait. I'm in Tennessee now. Much better during the winter than Maine. He says I have nugs in Scotland. I don't know what that means. Because oil and petrochemical refinery state wouldn't fit on a license plate. It's true. There's a very strange smell. Part of the way you go across.
Those strange parts of West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania too, where all that is. It's terrible. It's like I don't have people who live there.
Right? I'm sure it's not good for you. Backwards for guns, Sister Kate. Said Norm. I'm sick, Biddy Boo. We're not going to say. You don't know where we're going. How are your cows, Biddy? I'm sure you've done videos.
Ask Norm if they have Highland cattle for real in Scotland, or is that just like a thing Americans do?
Right? Are there really Highland cattle in Scotland, or is it just something that Americans do? She said her cows are spoiled. You're going to milk them, right? So they have to get pregnant? And your bull is that little calf, so it might not happen for a while? Okay, gotta go to the garden a bit, says Sasquatch, and do some more run, poacher, something. And Moonlight said, PJ. Wait a minute, you guys are going too far now. Fast. Any suggestions to conceal from thermal imaging?
Conceal what?
What do you think? Alright, answer. Norm says legal guns, yes, plenty. Buddy breeds them. So it's not just a thing. Highland cattle are breed.
Huh.
Very good.
They're cool looking.
Can you 3D fax this one?
No, they wouldn't like it here. It's too hot in the summer. It'd be miserable.
Concealing a location, Moonlight says, from thermal imaging.
Don't heat it.
Leave it cold. Cover it with rocks.
Yep, mass. You need mass.
Eat mass. Cold mass.
Nope, just mass.
Just
Same temperature
mass.
as everything else.
Same temperature as everything else. I hope that answered your question. Okay, I don't... Somebody gray. Shalom, Riley, or Campbell. We have an upcoming PCS that we get some say in from a prepper Viking standpoint. Which would you choose?
What
Fort
or what?
Riley or Fort Campbell?
From a prepper standpoint, Fort Riley. Fort Campbell's a nuclear target.
There you go. Fort Riley has lots
Plus,
of...
Fort Riley's on the correct side of the Mississippi.
And they have buffalo. I love it. Shalom, shalom from Mrs. Pleasance. Hello. She is in England also. I'm looking at moving to Arkansas River in Oklahoma. What's y'all's thoughts?
It's not in the Ozarks.
It's not in the Ozarks. It's too far west. Flying with firearms is possible. You have to declare you have it.
I've done it many times.
You have to have it in a locked case and
I've done it many
separate from the
times.
firearm. Just talk to the airline and they'll give you their rules. Oh. I don't like to breed heifers until they are at least a year and a half to 2 years old. When the bull calf is 6 months, it will be old enough to take care of them. Okay. That'll be later in the year then. I like the design. I like the black and white. I think it's pretty. Moonlight just help that person out with the Mylar deal. Okay. Whew. Well, what do you think? Good canoe?
Nuke.
All right, you guys, we are going to... Hosting cattle are very pretty. We are going to say aloha.
Shaka Brada.
Shaloha. For younger family where a regular job is essential, how do you move further out when jobs are more scarce?
People out far also have jobs. Believe it or not.
You can try to get jobs that are more geared to the rural life, like horseshoer. No, seriously.
No, I know if you're a horseshoer, you'll never want
Right,
for work.
farriers are usually in demand. You can work in chicken houses.
Construction is always
You can do
needed.
construction. You can be a well driller. They're always needed. Welders.
Doctors and lawyers can work anywhere. Nurses.
Right. Just
Computer work from your computer can work anywhere.
exactly. We have friends who just resell. They buy stuff and resell it on different sites, and that's how they make money. Cleaning out apartments and houses after people have left, and the landlord doesn't want to clean it up themselves. You can get a job doing that. You You just need to research. You need to check where you plan on going and what jobs are available in that area. Electricians are in short supply. Exactly. HVAC and plumbers also always needed. People's furnaces fail, their air conditioning units don't work, and they want them repaired.
Mechanics,
veterinarian helpers. Got all these suggestions. So that's it. I was going to sign off, but it was a good question. So bless y'all. Thank you for coming to the live stream. We appreciate all y'all. We appreciate your comments, your thumbs up, everything. Bless you.